Welcome back, friends and fans, to another episode of Alan Wake Remastered. I'm sure that potentially you're very confused if you've been keeping up with my most recent activity that I've displayed. Recently, I was, just as Alan is, in the dark. Our power had gone out. That's a whole story that I will be getting into here in a moment. But for now, let's get into it.
On Alan Wake, I'm hunted by the law.
Sheriff, Wake's running. I'm giving chase.
Are you seriously telling me that writer just took out my deputies?
A thriller I supposedly wrote is coming true. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I was told that Alice had been kidnapped, but that was a lie.
We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is.
Her purported kidnapper was eaten up by the dark presence before it attacked me.
The truth. You can't handle the truth.
Shh, baby. It was just a nightmare.
Alice.
There you go, Alan.
That's the last thing you want to see.
I fell.
I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period.
What?
Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now. The shock of your wife's death triggered a mental illness.
No, you lie.
You're suffering from various symptoms of undifferentiated schizophrenia.
Bastard.
It's okay, Alan. Just let go.
Dude, if some so-called mental doctor was just like, hey, yo, your wife's dead. Everything you've been dealing with, it's not real. Get over it. I'd sock him right in the jaw.
I felt groggy. Whatever Hartman had bumped in me was making me numb. I felt like this was happening to someone else. Someone I was watching on television. I couldn't think. Couldn't focus.
Yeah, well, I better deck Hartman in the head again, because, I mean, what right does he have?
The door was locked. I was a prisoner here.
Well, that's not good.
Good evening, Alan. Are we feeling better now? Feeling calm?
Yeah. I see you brought your pet gorilla with you. So sure, I'm calm. I get the message. Loud and clear.
Why, right. That's the spirit. You're being very brave.
Very
Alan.
brave, yeah.
I understand you're confused. I would be more concerned if you weren't suspicious of me. I don't blame you for it.
Big of you.
Now, why don't you come with me? We'll reacquaint you with my clinic and go over everything you might have forgotten. Little walk and some fresh air? Yes, it will do you good.
Might have forgotten. You know, whenever there's a story...
This corridor is for patients. Most of them aren't here right now. Jack took them out for a fishing trip, except for the ones who are particularly vulnerable, of course. I encourage creativity as a part of the recovery process here at Cauldron Lake Lodge. I specialize in treating artists.
I bet you do.
Splendid, Alan. I honestly believe we can get this thing under control if we work together.
Whenever there's a story
This way, Alan.
that says, you've lost your memories, let me tell you what you should remember, or let me help you remember what you might have forgotten. 9 times out of 10, hey, Death Rally is Remedy's first game, I think, ever, or just of that genre. That's kind of funny. That's a fun little Easter egg, I guess you could call it. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, they are just trying to manipulate your memories of your character. Hey, I wonder if I remember correctly, wasn't the painter in that one episode in Alan Wake 2, what was his name? I keep thinking Valentine, but I don't think that's it.
Now, Alan, from past experience with you, I know I need to get right into the heart of the matter as quickly as I can after an episode. So I'm just going to say this. Alice is dead.
No.
You're in a very vulnerable state until you understand and accept this. Alice drowned, and you couldn't face that. You're suffering from hallucinations, paranoid delusions, unusual thinking, an obsession about light and darkness, a feeling that everything revolves around you, your thoughts and dreams. Your mind has constructed an elaborate fantasy scenario in which your writings are affecting reality. She has been kidnapped, and supernatural forces of darkness are trying to stop you. We go this way, Alan.
I wasn't ready for another shot, so I went along with it. He had to be lying. But under the influence of the drug he had given me, I had to fight not to believe his words.
It's all in your head.
I'm pretty sure the
You've been making
painter
it
that
up.
we found in Alan Wake
Apart
2
from the tragic accident
was
with
also
your
at this
wife,
lodge.
No one has been killed. Your delusions are just a manifestation.
And that's
of
where the
your
FBC
subconscious
found him.
Mind trying to protect you from the too painful truth. Unless we fight the fantasy, it will return. I know the instinct is to resist me, but think about it. Doesn't this make far more sense than the insane supernatural conspiracy you have concocted in your mind? You're a skeptic by nature, Alan. We both know this. Everything can be explained logically. I never get tired of this view. Very inspiring, isn't it?
Cauldron Lake spread below us. I could see Mirror Peak on the other side of the lake. I thought I could make out the spot where Diver's Isle had been when I arrived with Alice. Now there was nothing but waves.
It seems there's a storm coming. Funny, I don't recall there being a mention of that in the weather forecast. Well, no matter. This way. Follow me.
I will admit, in this situation that Alan is in, I don't blame him for having a hard
Alan, what I'm
time
telling you is
not
good
being
news.
convinced.
Right now, we're in control. Every time you have a relapse, it gets more and more difficult to resurface from the dark depths of your imagination. Not surprising, considering your profession. Imagination is what you work with. After all your nightmares, this should come as an immense relief to you. If it doesn't, why is that? Because I'm lying? Or because you don't want to admit that you're not well? It's very natural for you to think of me as your enemy. It's part of the illness.
I let him talk.
After all,
Hartman
I'm the
obviously
one
loved
trying
his
to
own
bring you
voice.
out of the
His
world
words
you've
echoed
constructed
madly
for
inside
yourself.
my head.
But I
I
can't
dug my
do
nails
it
into
by
the palms of my
myself.
hands to stay
You need
focused.
to work with me. Once you accept that, we can begin the journey towards your recovery. Come along. Let's go inside. You were impressed by my trophies when you first arrived here. I do love to hunt. The great outdoors, man versus nature. It's wonderful stuff.
Pretty damn wonderful, yeah.
Scary, scary, scary.
Emerson. That's Emerson. We're actually making some progress with him, I'm happy to say. He works on
Elbow
video
strike.
games.
Ooh, yeah.
It's trash, of course, but it does
Get
involve
'em
some
to the head.
small creative effort,
Such
which
a
makes him
boomer thing to
receptive
say.
to my therapeutic methods.
No kidding.
Video games are trash and bad. I think I've mentioned before, I've actually had... I can't believe that I have actually had the conversation with my grandfather about how heavy metal music
Please, this way.
turns people evil to follow the devil. I'm gonna scan this real quick. I want to know what it is. I figured it was gonna be the same type of thing when last we interacted with a QR code. It's another video showcasing the Alan Wake 2 project before there was more to be shown of. I'll put like a small little video down here for you guys, but it's just cool seeing people so passionate about
Now,
this project.
you might have noticed the typewriter in your room. You've been writing as a part of the therapy. As soon as you feel up to it, you should continue.
Oh, hello. I've painted you.
Okay.
I was just struck by inspiration a couple of days ago. Dr. Hartman wanted me to paint landscapes, and that's what I was doing. But now I've been doing these things, a lot of them. The images just keep coming. Dr. Hartman likes them. He has them in his office.
Yeah?
He's very proud of me. He says I'm getting much better. I think I'm getting better.
Rudolph Lane.
Well, I guess
That's
I'd
the
better
name
stop.
of the painter
Storm is
in Alan Wake 2.
I'd hate to be out there tonight.
And maybe this is him. I don't know. And I don't know if you saw, but Odin and Thor were... Yep, right there. And there's his hammer.
Is killing me. There's a storm coming. Oh, what a storm.
I hope it wipes this place off the face of the earth.
And these two are the Anderson brothers, Odin and Thor. They had a, how should I put this, a heavy metal band in the 70s and 80s called Old Gods of Asgard. They even adopted new first names to complete the image of Viking gods. After the band broke up, they lived on a farm nearby. They are, well, in advanced stages of dementia. They're well cared for, TLC and all that. There's nothing more that can be done. I'm afraid that the rock and roll lifestyle has left its mark.
Now, what could you possibly mean by that?
I'm so sorry to cut this short for now, Alan. The power has been acting up. I'd better go check on it. We'll continue this soon. Meanwhile, when you feel up to it, return to your room and try to write. It really is for the best. Don't you think?
So, similarly to this,
I'd like to bash his head in with a hammer.
Oh, he'd love to fish out our secrets, but he has no clue. He's not crazy enough. Not crazy like us, Sonny.
Yeah!
Being crazy's a requirement, Sonny. Who else could understand the world when it's like this? It takes crazy to know crazy.
That's the sanest thing I've heard in a while.
Zane! You're all right, Tom. Hey, we like him, don't we, bro? He's got to go to the farm.
The Anderson Farm. Valhalla!
We wrote it all down, lest we'd forget. A crash course. All you need to know to get your head right. You need to find the message.
Here, Sonny, here's something for you. Gave me a rash, but I kept it safe from these bastards.
thanks for the rash paper. That's...
My head was clearing up, or according to Hartman, I was sinking back into the fantasy. I was convinced he was lying to me about everything.
Yeah.
Crazy or not, the Andersons made more sense.
Oh, there's a manuscript page right there. So anyway, similarly to what Alan is experiencing here, I woke up this morning to the power completely out. Hence my post to you guys saying that because of it, I would likely not be able to record this episode. I would likely not be able to edit and then publish this episode. However, luckily, it all got figured out. But I spoke to my grandfather, the landlord, about the situation, and he had not paid the electricity bill. For good reason. It's not like he
Doors
just...
were locked. Hartman and the nurses would have keys, but there was no way to get my hands on them.
You can get to your room by those stairs, Wake.
Not that he had forgotten or anything. He had solar panels installed recently.
I'm not myself. It's hard to think that there's a shadow inside my head. I can only focus on writing. Everything else is a blur. I'm trapped in this cabin. Have been for days, but it's always dark outside. My editor is real. I saw her again. She's not human. It's not human. A dark presence is wearing the old woman's face. She was covered in clinging shadows. There's a hole in her chest where her heart should be. I think I've made a horrible mistake. I don't think I'm any closer to saving Alice. It's been lying to me, using me to get the story it wants, and the story will come true.
But what he had more or less failed to do, there is a gigantic battery that weighs a couple 100 pounds in our...
Hartman had mentioned that the power had been acting up. Maybe that was the reason for the generator and the work light on the balcony. The generator hadn't been activated, and there was no key.
In our area down here. And
Hartman wanted me to write. I knew I couldn't, but I figured I should just play along for now. It was the only thing I could do with Nurse Birch watching me like a hawk.
Anyway, we installed the battery back in November, and as it turns out, he never plugged it in. So when it came time for the solar to take over,
the white glare of the blank page in front of me hurt my eyes.
There was nothing to have anything take over.
My hands began to shake uncontrollably.
Kind of frustrating.
Everybody, calm down. Put that down. Bert, I need help.
Hey, Wake, you stay here. I'm gonna go see what's up. You just keep doing what you're doing. Be cool, okay?
You got it, Gorilla.
I didn't know what the chaos was all about, but it could be my only chance of getting out of here.
Where the hell did he get a damn hammer?
Hammer's up. Here's a friendly poke from Mjolnir, wench.
Oh,
I don't see them.
crazy brothers, are ya? So weak now, are we?
One of the other kind of frustrating things that my grandfather...
Sinclair looked bad. That wasn't a love tap. The crazy old fart hit her hard. If she was one of Hartman's goons, she had it coming. I could get the key to the office from Sinclair. I had to get to Hartman's office. He had taken all my manuscript pages. That's where he'd been keeping them.
The other day, I got a letter in a big fat envelope.
The markings on the tape said they were recordings Hartman had made of the sessions with his patients. I saw Alice's name on one of them. For a moment, I couldn't breathe right.
The parties, he's so angry all the time. He's getting violent.
You mean with you?
No, not with me. No, never. Sometimes I almost wish Alan would take a swing at me, because at least that'd lead to a conversation he couldn't just march out of. But no.
That's a rough thing to say.
Alan doesn't really sleep. And the work, well, he's not writing at all. He sits there for hours and just gets more and more frustrated. And I can't talk to him.
Yes. Tell me, Mrs. Wake. What would you say to him if he'd listen?
I don't know. I want to say, I look at you, and it's not you. Just some stranger who resembles you. Looking out from behind your eyes. And I don't like that guy much. And now it's all gonna go to hell.
But you don't ever say this.
No. I've tried, but he's not listening. He's too deep in his own problems. Always going on about something else. I'm so afraid I'm gonna lose him. And we're not even talking anymore. He doesn't let me in anymore. He just keeps me in the dark. I'm so alone here, even when he's home. Please help me, Doctor, because I'm at my wit's end.
Well, if you can just get him here, I'll absolutely do my very best.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Doctor, you need to be careful with him. He's not just going to listen to you and cooperate. He's the most stubborn man I've ever met.
Well, I'll be sure to bear that in mind.
Hearing her voice, what she was saying made me happy and sick and guilty all at once. Worst of all, I recognized the words. The phone call from her. It had been a cut-up of this. Just a recording.
Oof. All those things. Like, it...
The photo on the wall
That's
caught
such a
my attention.
frustrating thing
In it,
to have
the clinic
her
staff
do
was
behind
standing
his back.
outside the lodge. I knew the man next to Hartman. He was the kidnapper. Hartman had been playing me all along.
Jerk. Anyway, so I got a a letter from one of the universities that I applied to.
Barry? Ow! About time! Barry, man, am I glad to see you. We need to get to Hartman's office.
It's right next door.
You okay?
Yeah. I mean, no!
Well, I didn't get to hear the rest of that. And
These were all the pages I had on me. And more.
Alan, please. You're sliding back into the...
Tell me one more lie and I'll shoot you in the face.
Ah, well, it was worth a shot. Really, Wake, come on. Let's work together on this. You have no idea...
Hartman, shut up! Barry, get out of here. I'll catch up with you. Get a car.
Oh, Al, let's just...
Go!
Wake, listen to me. This is a mistake. Don't you see? Together we can create something absolutely wonderful. With your ability and mine.
yeah, you get what you deserve. So I got this big letter from university that I applied to. That's loud.
The dark presence would be on me in a moment. I had to find a way out.
And oh, okay, don't go in there. I was confused by the letter because it was very much so the size and shape and appearance of what looked like an acceptance letter.
I needed light to get the possessed bookshelves out of my way.
And I need to go upstairs. Ow. And on the front, it was addressed to future physical therapist Paul. And I was like, I was confused by it because again, I wasn't expecting that. Anyway, my grandfather gets my mail before I do because he checks it several times a day. And took the liberty of announcing for me, before I even knew the letter existed, but he announced for me my acceptance of this school. However, how do I get out of here? Oh, right, the flare. However, it was, in fact, not an acceptance letter. It was just informational. The whole thing was simply informational. By that point, the damage had already been done, because he sent out the message to my entire family. Not me, mind you, but my entire family. How do I get out of here? Come on. Ow. Well, how else am I supposed to get out? Oh. Oh, come on. What? Oh, anyway, so he had already sent out the message to my entire family before even informing me that the letter was here. And so I get a message from my father, and he says, "Hey, I heard you got some important mail today." And I'm sitting here going, "I did?" And he goes, "Maybe you should go ask your grandpa." on. And I'm again just... My gosh.
Ow! I'm here!
I make my way upstairs. There's, in fact, an envelope for me with my name on it, addressed to future physical therapist.
Hey, come on! We gotta get going! I found the car, but
But,
the gate's locked. You're gonna have to go through the
once
hedge
I
maze
opened
over
it,
there.
it
Barry, I
just
don't
said
have a
like,
light.
hey,
Take
thanks
this,
for
Al.
considering us. Get more information via this website, whatever. So yeah, at that point, the damage had already been done. I was starting to get messages from family being like, hey, oh my gosh, congratulations. And the frustrating...
It's not much of a maze! I made it through easy!
The frustrating thing about all of that is that it's both embarrassing for me, because then I had to tell several people that, you know, sent me texts congratulating me. I had to tell all those people, like, hey, no, it's not what you think. It was a whole mistake. He shouldn't have said any of that. And then that leads me to the other part that is super frustrating, because it wasn't his announcement to tell. It wasn't for him to say if I had gotten accepted or not. But he just flat out, in all caps, not really, but just said, congratulate Paul, he got in, without even knowing that I had in fact gotten in. I don't know. It's just, again, it wasn't his information to tell. Again, because like if it was true, if I did get in, and I then reached out to everyone and was like, hey, I got in, it would be hardly news to them. So yeah, just a couple of frustrating moments with my grandpa there lately. Get the heck out of here. Why do I get the feeling something's gonna jump out at me? Oh, come on. On a much friendlier and brighter note, so in a previous episode of this, I actually mentioned... What the... Okay. Now I'm back. Hopefully no wild wheelbarrows are gonna be attacking me when after they've disappeared. Anyway, yeah, on a much more friendly, happier note, in a previous episode I mentioned that, you know, I recently acquired the Fable Lost Chapters on Steam, and that I then linked a little whatever those things that are at the top of the corner on these YouTube videos to my old playthrough of the Anniversary Edition. And I was watching those videos. I didn't even get through one. Oh my gosh, it's so... Ow, ow! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Anyway, those videos are so hard to watch. Oh my gosh. I was getting so embarrassed from myself. Because, I mean, episode 1, I'm literally sitting in my parents' living room, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start my, Fable playthrough. And you can, like, I'm playing on my old, gaming laptop, and so you can hear the fan of my laptop going like crazy. Sounds like I'm in an airport, and gosh, it's just so embarrassing. And I'm watching it, and I'm just I look so bad, and my mood is so low.
Let's get out of here. Can you open this gate?
Maybe.
Barry.
Well, I slammed it shut when the nasty showed up, and the key fits kind of loose in the lock, so, Barry! I'll find it, don't worry about it!
Yeah, it was so hard to watch.
Hurry up!
Because, yeah, I'm just sitting there.
I'm on it!
And oh, did you see that dodge? So yeah, I'm thinking of redoing my Fable playthrough. Just something to do, because it was just so bad. I can't believe I willingly uploaded that. Horrible.
Al, please tell me we're headed for the nearest "You're now leaving Bright Falls. Come back soon" sign.
We're going to the Anderson farm.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. You know what? You owe me big time for this. When this is through, if we make it, I don't care what anybody says, I'm done with darkness. You're gonna buy me a tanning bed as a gift, and I'm gonna live in it.
So yeah, I don't know. I have a whole list of games that I'm gonna inevitably end up playing for you guys. But maybe I'll just
You got that right, Al. You're barking mad. You are by far the
sprinkle in some Fable in there.
That's inevitable when you deal with crazy stuff like this. It helps. This is happening, Barry. Alice, they never had Alice. She's trapped in the darkness at the bottom of the lake, but she's not dead.
Al, how can you know that?
I know, Barry. I can...
Al,
No, listen. I can bring her back. I can find her. There's something special about this place. The lake, it does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. But there's a catch. The dark presence, whatever that thing is, twists it to its own ends. That's why all of this is happening. It's using my manuscript to take over everything.
Al, I believe you.
It happened to Thomas Zane before, it happened to the Andersons.
I believe you. Crazy or not, you're not delusional. Weird shit's going down. That's a fact. I'm on board, man. I'm with you.
The Andersons knew about it, but they were too far gone to tell me with all the drugs they were on. But they wrote it down. There's a message somewhere at their farm, Barry. We just need to find it.
Look out!
Look out! You're the one driving, dude. You're supposed to say, like, hold on or something.
Al! God damn it, Al, talk to me!
Alright, guys. Well, we are gonna actually leave it here.
I lost my gun in the crash. Barry was nowhere to be seen.
This is, I think, a good cliffhanger to leave us on. But, again, I'm so grateful that you guys are watching. I hope you're enjoying the content. And overall, if you are, Well then, I guess I'll see you next time on Dragon Ball Z.